We are speaking of the utterance of the sacred word Om as the master key to yoga practice. How to utter it? The technique of making an utterance in a proper way. Now I will explain it. Select a place for your daily practice. Let it be kept neat and clean, and begin to practice at the same time, same hour and same minute every day. You can select your own convenient time, but it is important that you should stick to the same time daily, and it will have its own advantage. And then you sit down in a convenient posture, which is most comfortable to your state of existence. For example, the age and the stage of health. If you can do it, it is better if you sit erect and perpendicular to the ground in some convenient asana. It may be Padmasana or lotus pose or Siddhasana or any convenient asana which you practiced previously. And in the beginning, you need not wait to practice the asana for some days. You can start yoga practice even with stretched legs, and then begin to practice one asana simultaneously, so that time is not lost, because the span of this physical body is limited. For a person who knows the value of time and span, it is not wise to allow time without beginning to achieve what you want. It is true not only with yoga but also with anything. And it is said previously, a person was waiting for 2 years before he began meditating, because he wanted a deer skin to sit upon. And in the meanwhile, he died. So, starting to meditate is more important than deer skin. It is more important than a rosary beads or something else. So, let the arrangements take their own time. You get at the important aspect and begin to do it. Other things follow and they come to you. Then only you will be able to achieve anything in your life. Those who wait can never achieve. Same is true with yoga practice also. And the goal of yoga is more valuable than any achievement. I told you it is neither achievement nor attainment. It is only a transformation, a becoming of something which you are not previously. It is like an iron piece becoming a magnet. So there is nothing to achieve or attain in yoga practice. Achievement or attainment belongs to you, whereas the change that occurs in yoga is yourself and it is not yours. You are more important than anything you have. So immediately start practicing. Sit in a convenient posture and close your eyes. Relax every muscle and nerve in your body. Observe every part of your body from head to foot. If every nerve and muscle has been relaxed or not. First, observe your head with your mind and make a relaxation of all the nerves and muscles. And then observe your face and then your back of the head and your eyes. If you have closed your eyes with some tension like this, relax them. Like that, from head to foot, observe yourself and relax every part of your body. And then, when you have finished doing this, begin to observe the movements of your respiration. How the lungs are moving, how air is going in and coming out, how the effort is being done automatically without your own intervention, and spend some time in observing the movements of your respiration. Spend at least 2 minutes in observing your respiration. And the next step to practice is make the respiration uniform. Begin to breathe in slowly and softly without any friction of the air to the walls of your lungs, without any sound being heard in your nostrils while breathing in. And let it be done in a uniform speed. Like that, you breathe in as much as you can without any discomfort. You should not breathe in until you feel a discomfort of it. That's more important. And what is more important is you should be observing your own breath and nothing else. Otherwise, it will be a mechanical respiration just as we do now. That means our consciousness is not linked up with our respiration. And there is no contact point between consciousness and respiration. What happens when there is no contact point between respiration and our consciousness? You know what happens when you have not made a connection with the electrical instrument? What happens when the plug is not connected with the pin? Same thing happens to us when the respiration is not having a contact point with the consciousness. So, you should be observing only your respiration. Like that, you inhale as much as you can without any discomfort. And then begin to exhale in the same way. Slow, soft and uniform. Do it as much as you can, as long as you can, without any discomfort. At the same time, observing your own respiration. Now, you have completed one yogic respiration. Do it 3 times. Then, leave your respiration free for itself. Let it be irregular once again for a few seconds. Again, do the yogic respiration for 3 times. Then leave it for itself. Then again do it 3 times. This is the first set of yogic respiration. And then open your eyes. Leave everything to itself. Let 1 minute pass. Again resume your posture. Again observe yourself if there is any tension in any muscle or nerve. Repeat the same process of respiration, but with one addition. As long as you are breathing in, you meditate mentally the syllable so. That is, as long as you are breathing in, you should be meditating so. Like this, mentally. Do it as long as you can without any discomfort. Then begin to exhale and utter the syllable hum. As long as you are exhaling, not only mentally but also vocally, as long as you are breathing out, you should utter hum continuously, like this. Hum. At the same time, listening to your own sound and nothing else, and observing the movements of your respiration. Do it 3 times. Then leave it for a few seconds. Again 3 times. Again 3 times. Again leave it. Now you have finished the second yogic respiration. Then open your eyes. Leave everything free and let 2 minutes pass. Again close your eyes. Repeat the same experiment, but this time with a little bit of alteration. As long as you are breathing in, mentally utter Om, and as long as you are breathing out, utter Om continuously, not only mentally but also vocally, and listening to your voice continuously, observing the movements of your respiration. Do it 3 times, leave it 3 times, do it 3 times, leave it, and do it 3 times. Now you have completed the third yogic respiration. This is what all you have to do in the beginning. This is what is required. As far as our responsibility is concerned, because here ends our duty, and you will receive directions from within. Because now the responsibility is with the Guru inside, not the Guru outside. Now the Guru begins to talk to you, but it takes some time for you to listen to him and understand his language. You will get clear-cut instructions as to what to do more. Sometimes you are instructed to do for more number of times the respiration. Sometimes you are asked to sit down with closed eyes after the respirations for a long time. Sometimes you will see some colors. Sometimes you will hear some sounds. Sometimes you will see beautiful designs like equilateral triangles or double triangles or lotuses. Some beautiful forms. Each form has its own symmetry and it makes its appearance to you. Not Christian food. Enjoy. You have nothing to do with those things except to enjoy. The one thing you have to do is don't call them your yogic experiences. Be careful not to be carried away by fancies and imaginations. May we not enter into our own utopia and be objective and enjoy whatever comes to you. And it is better if you can have a diary for yourself. You can write down what all you have seen after you complete your meditation. Sometimes you will get some instructions and you are asked to follow some instructions and you continue with the same process. At the same time, you have to regulate your daily routine. This is the essential part of calling the Lord. You can call it the invocation of the Lord. And without any doubt, the Lord begins to call you after you begin to call Him with this word. This is what is promised by the Scriptures. And this is what is being experienced by everyone who practices in a uniform way. What is required is only continuity of behavior. There should not be any change or alteration in our behavior. This process should be standardized, and as far as possible, let the time also be the same. And now you are going to enter into a more important step. Before that, you have to regulate your daily routine. For example, when you begin to practice pranayama, you will be trying to regulate the pulsations of life and thereby regulating your respiration. But it should be done in accordance with the regulation of our daily routine. Without that background, if we practice pranayama, it is rather dangerous and we go into wrong lives and wrong results. Because we are experimenting with our very life. Respiration is nothing but life. It is the capacity to respire that is living in you as life. And respiration is more important and more vital than we imagine. When we are going to tackle the respiration, that means we are going to tackle time itself. Before doing it, we should understand one secret of our living. What is the difference between time and span of life? Suppose we are not there on this earth. There is duration which we can call time. When we are there on this earth, time is there, He is there, and our time is also there. Our time is what we call span of life. For example, suppose there is a thin wire fixed in tension to a machine. You measure the length of the wire and note it. Have a hollow barrel of magnet around the wire and measure it. Note it. This length is the length of the wire along with the barrel, whereas this length is the length of the wire. So, time is like the length of the wire, and our span is like the length of the barrel with the wire. Without the wire, the barrel cannot stand there. Without time, we have no span of life. And the span involves consciousness along with the time. In other words, time makes itself conscious with the help of the created beings in time. Nature creates beings and it makes time feeling self-conscious. As long as there are living beings in time, time is self-conscious in the form of the consciousness of the beings. Remember this, have this in mind. And if we can make our daily routine regular. That means we are conscious of our span and also the time. During the period of 24 hours, starting from the sun in the east, that is sunrise, you have 4 quarters of the day, 6 hours each, and the earth is rotating on its own axis and producing the effect of the day and the night upon us. It is not a fact that day and night are there, but it is true that the day and night are there to us. So, we are included in this truth. The more we are conscious of the regularity of the rotation of the earth, then we are in the planetary consciousness of the earth. Otherwise, we are away from the planetary consciousness of the earth. Suppose there is a thin wire of magnet and there is iron dust on the table, and you vibrate this wire. It begins to pick up the dust, and the dust that is picked up contains only, that dust only contains particles that are magnetic. The remaining particles are not yet magnetic. That's the difference between the life of a person who establishes regularity in his daily routine and the one who leaves everything to itself. For example, you select some time to get up from your bed. Stick to it exactly to the hour and the minute. In the beginning, it may require some effort. After some time, no effort is required. Let it be any time convenient to you. In our eastern countries, because we are nearer the equator, it is convenient for us to get up by 4 or 4:30 or maximum 5 in the morning. It may not be so very convenient in the border countries. You can select 5 or 6 or 7 according to your present stage of existence before you started yoga practice, and let the time be followed every day, and then create a second incident like that. For example, your breakfast. A third incident like that. For example, your lunch. A fourth example like that. For example, your dinner. And then a fifth incident. For example, starting at home to go to the office. And then a sixth example. For example, returning home after you leave the office. A sixth example. For example, to talk to your wife for half an hour about the domestic affairs. Like this, multiply the number of incidents in the day in which you achieve regularity. Then there will be an imperceptible and invisible change taking place in you. Behind the regularity of the incidents and behind the mental activity you put forth to realize the regularity, there is another dimension developing in you. The shape of the total incidence of regularity in your life. You will construct your own polygon of your own routine. That polygon becomes a standard. And along with the revolution of the earth, that polygon begins to rotate. You will find a new dimension of consciousness awakening in you. A new awareness is continuously working in you. This is what exactly is needed when you practice yoga. Without this, even though you practice for 30 years, there is no use. This invisible body of polygon should develop around you. It should be your own aura rotating around you. Then begin to practice pranayama. Then it is safe for you to regulate your pulsation. Then it is safe for you to regulate your respiration. But if you start at the wrong end and proceed in the opposite direction, that is, begin to breathe and stop respiration and making kumbhaka, etc., it will have its own evil effects upon you in course of time. Because you have not tuned yourself with the planetary consciousness of this earth. You could not recognize that the earth itself is a big magnet upon which you are standing. And then you began to tamper the vital pulsations. Then there is a hell awaiting. So be careful. This is the first step you have to practice. And along with this step, you have to practice controlling respiration, etc. So we will go to the next step of practice. Before doing so, let us verify if our utterance of the sacred word is running in proper lines or not. How to verify? By the clear-cut results it offers to you. It is a sure thing, like the taste of the pudding you have prepared. You can directly taste it and verify if your cooking is running in proper lines or not. Two things take place if your practice is running in proper lines. One is you become always conscious of a new consciousness that is existing in you, which you did not know previously, which you did not taste previously. It will be experienced in the form of an awareness, and it will be experienced as a type of mental light. Mentally, you will begin to feel some light which was not there previously. And sometimes, mental sound. You will continuously listen the sound Om, not in the ears but in the mind. You should not hear in the ears. If you listen any sounds in the ears while practicing yoga, that means you are dragging it to dangerous extent. For example, one who practices kumbhaka in a violent way, sometimes he begins to listen some sounds in the ear. That is nothing but the sound of the rush of blood to the head. And because there are blood vessels near the ear, when the speed of the rush of the blood is more, we will begin to hear the sounds in the ear. That is something dangerous. That means our hypertension is growing. And we will grow more and more irritable and erratic towards others. And we will mistake that our vibrations are growing more and more sensitive, and we may deceive ourselves by believing that we are not able to bear any disturbance around. This is never true with a student of yoga. Let it be any branch of yoga practice. If your practice were to be running on right lines, you should grow more tranquil and more pleasant. And if there was any irritability previously in your mind, it should